Hey Charlotte.
Hi Hedy, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? What did you get up to this weekend?
Well, it was pretty chill. I saw a friend, did some walking, hung out, and I booked some flights this weekend actually, which is exciting.
Oh, where to?
Well, destination weddings are quite popular these days,
Oh, yeah.
where you irritate everyone you know by insisting they all spend a lot of money and go to another country to celebrate your wedding. It's not irritating at all. It's absolutely lovely.
I love
But
I'm like, oh my God, Charlotte, whoever's wedding you're going to, if they listen to this, wow.
no. I'm just joking. I'm being silly because my cousin is getting married in Italy, so it's gonna be a fab chance to just go there and have a lovely weekend. So I booked flights to that, but I'm just joking about it because I've had a few destination weddings this year, and I definitely think it's more of a thing these days. Anyway.
Yeah, I guess especially post-pandemic, or I say post, but you know what I mean. So now people can travel again more freely. So I guess everyone's like, that's it, destination wedding.
Exactly.
But wow, funnily enough, I also booked tickets this weekend. But next month I am planning to go to Hong Kong, which I'm very excited about.
Ooh, that is super exciting. So I've only ever been to Vietnam and Asia, and I would love to go to more countries, but you're super well travelled in Asia, aren't you? Now.
I like to think so, but I think it's just because I studied abroad. I had the opportunity, obviously, before COVID, to study abroad there. So I've been to a few countries in Asia, but yeah, I love it. So it's my number one kind of destination I like to go to. Especially, I feel like Korea is probably the country that I've been to the most.
Fitting.
But yeah. So and especially now, Hong Kong. I don't know if you've seen in the news, but they've got all these kind of initiatives to kind of to try and boost tourism. And so I heard that they're going to start giving away free flight tickets to Hong Kong, and even now they're doing special giveaways and I think discounts for tourists. So there's things at hotels, it's stay 4 nights, get 1 night free. So obviously I'm going to try and take full advantage of that whilst visiting somewhere that's been on my bucket list for a while.
That's awesome though. How long are you going for? When are you going?
End of April, 10 days.
Ooh, I'm super jealous.
Yeah.
That's going to be really awesome. So today we're talking about travel. So this is also fitting. And you've got some travelling coming up. So travelling in your 20s, do you think that's a big thing, Hedy?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I feel especially in the UK, it's kind of a thing to travel in your 20s, especially before settling down, into your career or whatever. And I think it's another time to, I'm sorry to sound but I think it's another time to kind of find yourself when traveling. And yeah, what about you? Is traveling a big thing for you in your 20s?
It definitely has been and was. And I still do try and go abroad and stuff. But I guess now I've done a lot of it. So I have a bit of a sort of been there, done that mentality about...
Been there, done it, got the t-shirt.
Yeah, not about going to countries, but I don't feel the need to have lots of trips booked in the calendar all the time. I'm quite happy to do a lot of stuff in the UK these days and not spend a load of money. But I did do a lot, so I guess I'm in a bit of a privileged position. That's why I feel like I can calm down a bit.
Yeah. Oh, and I think especially because obviously during kind of the height of the pandemic, it was just impossible to travel. And so I think so many people in their 20s have kind of missed out on those years of being able to kind of travel freely and, find yourself that way.
Yeah, definitely. And because of our age difference, that's the thing. I'd kind of got the bulk of that kind of out of my system already. And you're in the middle of it. So you're getting back to it now.
I want to travel. Yeah. And so I think, because for me, the pandemic, it affected my early 20s, which I think is when, especially when you get the student loan, people like to travel. So yeah, but Speaking of money and traveling, especially in your 20s, I remember my art teacher when I was in secondary school. We were like talking about traveling and stuff, and she said to me, "Oh, the thing is, when you're young, you have the energy but no money. But when you're older, you have the money but no energy." So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I vibe hard with that because, as I said to you, I feel like I've been there, done that a little bit. I feel like that about myself as a traveller as well. So I don't know what kind of traveller you are, but I was a very rough and ready traveller. I still am to some extent. So what I mean by that is like I will just I'll rough it quite a bit just to save money. So I have this memory of like talking to my dad on a bus or a train on the way to like Gatwick Airport in London.
Yeah.
And I was on the train to go there because I was flying to Canada the next day. And at the time I was like 21 and I was like, there's no way that I'm going to pay for accommodation for a night. Like I can just sleep in the airport. It's fine. There's a floor. I'll have a roof over my head. Like,
oh my God.
No big deal. And for me, that was like really normal. I would just like go to the airport the night before and just sleep on the floor somewhere and then catch my flight the next day. And my dad was like, yeah, when you get older, that it becomes worth spending the money to avoid the discomfort. And I remember thinking, oh my God, what like an old fuddy-duddy. I'll never be like that.
The thing is, I feel like I'm sorry, Charlotte, but that could never be me. I feel like I'm such a bougie traveller. So, for me, I'd rather spend the money to avoid the inconvenience. But also, I think it's a bit different. So for me, because I stayed at home throughout university, and now because like London is just too expensive, so I've been able to save, I feel like, more money than people usually can at our age, like if they move out and live alone or like live with flatmates. So for me, I'm like, it's worth it with like, I'd rather use the money I've saved from like staying at home to kind of fund a more bougier, more comfortable, easy trip.
I respect that, and I'm more like that now. But when I was younger, I didn't have much money at all, but I had all of this, get up and go to travel, and I didn't want to miss out on
the energy
stuff.
but no money.
Yeah, energy and no money. So I would just make it happen. So that resulted in me doing lots of questionable things. Like the first trip I ever did was backpacking around Europe, and I couldn't afford even youth hostels because it added up to a lot of money. So me and my friend couch surfed, which is this like website that you can sign up to where you basically find random people to stay with and they'll let you stay in their house for free. And it's part of this kind of travel community. And I did that. It was great. I met lots of interesting people, but every person I told about that was just like, they just looked at me like, you're doing what?
I feel like they're looking at you, or anyone listening can't see this, but I feel like they were looking at you how I'm looking at you right now. Like, are you crazy, Charlotte? Like, oh my God.
And in hindsight, if like an 18-year-old told me they were doing that, I would be like, are you sure? Maybe you should be careful. But,
wow,
it was a great experience. And then like later I did work in exchange for like staying in places. So there's like woofing, which is
I've heard of that, yeah.
It's like willing workers on organic farms or something like that. And then this other thing called workaway, and basically the premise is you stay somewhere and you work for like a small amount in exchange for your room and board. And I did a lot of that in like New Zealand and places like that.
Wow. Oh my God, Charlotte, you have lived like now, because to me, backpacking, anything like that, it's just my absolute worst nightmare. I like my, I'm like a creature of comfort. I like my home comforts. I like being comfortable. And even, one thing that I'm quite proud of is I'm usually quite good at picking out hotels. And see, again, because I would go for a hotel, even nowadays, it's like, it's often cheaper to get a hotel than an Airbnb. And my number one travel tip is always look at the bathroom. Because if there's a nice bathroom, you can tell the hotel is going to be nice because they put like money into that, which often people neglect. I know that sounds crazy, but trust me, it works.
No, my equivalent to that is the toilet paper. if the toilet paper is high quality premium toilet paper, then you know you've hit on a good place, right?
Yes. And for me, any like fellow clean freaks out there, because I think this is for me, I'm such a clean freak. If they have white bed sheets, I will only stay in a hotel if the sheets are white, because obviously then they have to put more effort into cleaning it, and you can see any obvious stains.
Yeah,
but
these are all very good tips. I like it. So
yeah, I love like we've just complete like different ends of the spectrum. Like,
well, then everyone, listeners, are you more like me or Hedy? Are you a like rough and ready traveller? Are you willing to rough it just for the experience, or do you like a bit more of a quality experience?
Bougie traveller.
Bougie traveller, exactly. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will have a look and see in the comments if anyone wants to volunteer that information. But yeah, I think we should wrap this up today. So what are you up to now, Hedy?
Oh, I have one more episode of The Glory left to watch. I'm absolutely obsessed, but I didn't have time this weekend to completely binge all of it. So I just have one episode left. I can't wait. And what about you, Charlotte?
Oh, I think you're ahead of me. So I am really behind on The Glory. I just finished watching episode 7. So like, yes, I think we're doing something similar, but I need to like really catch up. So I will have to binge hard.
We are basically the same person. We're booking flights at the same time. We're watching the same shows.
I know.
We are like one brain cell.
Two ends of the spectrum, though, you know.
Yes, when it comes to traveling, but
well,
opposite sides of the same coin.
Exactly. Awesome to see you. Let's catch up again
Amazing
soon.
to see you too. See you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Bye.